We seem to have found some fish here. Casting back out, and it's just popping it as best you can through these waves. There've been some pretty explosive hits. Not moving very fast, which is good. We want to stay here if we can. Come on, fish, hit it. Oh, 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 there we go. We got him. Little guy, but we got him. That hit like a bass. I didn't get to see it, but that sucking sound coming up, grabbing it rather than a bluefish just trying to rip it in half. Sounded like a small bass. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Yep, it's a bass. Little guy. Not what we had been catching, but hey, I'll take it. The old pin popper. It's been doing the job today for sure. Little fish like that grabbing a 6-inch bait. They are aggressive. When they want it, they want it. You got all 3 hooks. Come on. There we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. The little ones are tough to get a hold of. There we go. He was not coming off. These heavy-duty salt hooks, boy, when they stick some meat. They stick some meat. Not a big one, but that's what we're after. Nice little early fall striper. There we go. Yeah. Come on, kid. There's a picture for you. There we go. Let's do that again. One of the lures we're going to be using today is the Creek Chub Pin Popper. This is the 6-inch 6-pin version. There's a 9-inch called the 9-pin. This lure here weighs 2.5 ounces, so it casts a mile even in this slop that we're fishing in here with a heavy wind. We've got 3/0 heavy-duty saltwater hooks and a 3-ring split ring on there. One of the things I like so much about this is that 3/0 hook is attached with a swivel in the body of this bait. And that becomes pretty important on some bigger fish. When we're presenting topwaters out here, a lot of times the fish is going to come up and strike at the back. So he's going to get this hook in the corner of his mouth. And a lot of times what happens is during that fight, as he runs away from you now, that lure turns as you pull it, and this second hook will get him behind the cheek plate. And then he's got a lot of torque. It's hard to turn him, and a lot of times during that fight, because of their strength, they'll actually rip the hook out and you end up losing the fish. This thing is built just about as solid as they come. As you can see, we got some teeth marks in it. We've already been catching some fish today. There's a ton of them here, and you're going to get to see this thing in action. Oh, he's off. Another one's on it. Another one. There we go. There's a few fish right there. Nice. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of wind and chop. So some of our normal spots are out of the question. So we came up onto a shallow bar here with a whole bunch of boulders. I got 2 fish on this one popper. There are a ton of fish right here. Look at all these bass. What's going on here is that I went with a big old popper, the 6-pin, something that's going to make a lot of noise and commotion that these bass can pick up in this chop. And just using the trolling motor, trying to keep me out of the rocks here, drifting with the tide. And we found some fish. Boy, did he hammer that thing. At one point, I had 2 fish hooked on this one popper. I still may. We'll see here in a second. Yep, 2 bluefish on 1 popper. Look at that, a bass and a bluefish. Now that's cool. There you go. It's all about making a commotion in the water right now. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. There's a picture for you. There we go. Good start to the day. Nice big bluefish. This is about the average size for bluefish this time of year. They're gonna get bigger in a couple of weeks. But for a shallow water bass bite, this isn't too bad. We saw a whole bunch of them back in here as I was fighting these fish. There was at least 4 or 5 others following this to the boat. So I'm gonna get these back in the water and get back on it here, see what we can't do. Well, it was fun while it lasted. As you saw, we caught a ton of fish this morning on the Creek Chub 6-pin, but the winds picked back up. It's gotten really rough. The water clarity is terrible right now. We got a lot of weed in the water, but we're gonna take a few more casts and then head for the barn. But the important thing is to remember, when the conditions are really rough like this, go with something with a big profile, something that throws a lot of water, makes some noise. That was everything this morning in the chop. As you saw, we caught some good fish. So I'm gonna get back at it and head to the barn.